The government shutdown is not what you think. And with Donald Trump saying that tariffs could cause an end to federal income tax, what we have to cover in this video is monumental. Because I made a video 1 month ago talking about this and how Trump was planning on giving out stimulus checks to low and middle income USA citizens. And it's very interesting how over the past 7 days, projects like Uniswap, Filecoin, Internet Computer, Near Protocol, Render, Aerodrome are up 30%, upwards of 100%. And XRP's rallied from $2 to now over $2.50. Whereas on Google Trends, retail is not here yet. So are the pumps on a lot of these dinosaur altcoins happening because of retail just buying based on this news right here? Or is there a secret cabal behind the scenes front running retail before they pump the markets going into 2026? Well, you guys are not going to believe what we found in today's video. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. What if you could trade with $100,000 without ever risking any of your own capital? Well, I'm doing it right now, trading a 100K funded account with zero of my own money on the line. I just paid a one-time evaluation fee to take a trading test, and that's it. And we've been getting flooded with messages of people asking us, how do I get crypto loans? How do I leverage trade without risking my own capital? And that's exactly why we partnered with Breakout, the sponsor of today's video, a crypto prop trading firm recently acquired by cryptocurrency exchange Kraken with over 10 million clients in 190 countries, processing billions of dollars in trading volume and over 1.5 billion in 2024 and over 15 billion in 2025 in revenue. They'll fund you up to $200,000 for passing one simple trading test. And if you pass the test, you get to keep up to 90% of the profits on your trading account. And you get to withdraw your profits anytime after you pass the test. Now, here's the problem that I see most people face when they get started in crypto. They go to an exchange like Coinbase or Binance.com, and they just start trading with, let's say, $10,000 of their own money. And that's not a small amount of money for most people. That's your mortgage payment. That's food. That's electricity. That's your rent. So one bad trade or one black swan event, like what happened at the beginning of October where altcoins saw the biggest liquidation event in history, then poof, your account could be completely blown or go to zero. And then your rent's late, your savings is completely wiped out, your family is stressed out. So you're not trading to win. Trading with your own money is survival. Whereas trading $100,000 of risk-free capital is freedom. In fact, if all you have is $10,000, you should never be trading with all of that in the first place. The smartest move that you could possibly do is take just 10% of that, which is $1,000, and start trading with Breakout's capital, which is acquired by Kraken. And all you have to do is pay for a simple trading test for a 100K account or a 200K account. And if you pass the test, then you're able to trade with six figures without depositing or risking any of your own money. And let's say you fail the test, well, you only lose the cost that it took to take the test rather than a full $10,000 because you shouldn't even be trading with $10,000 of your own money in the first place if you can't pass a simple little $1,000 test. And the best part here is there's no limit on retries. So when you click the link in the description below and you want to get funded for a 100K account like what I did, well, it only costs $1,000 here. And the best part is there's no limit on retries. And so that's 10x better risk management here. And that's how you prove you actually know what you're doing. And this is the smartest strategy that the best traders in the world use. And that's OPM, other people's money. So what I'll do for you is I'll leave a link in the description below. It'll take you to this page right here. And all you have to do is click the button that says start trading. And what I did was select the classic 100K funded account. Then you simply enter in your details to create your account, select the account balance. I'd recommend going with 100K. The account type is one step. The plan is classic. And if you enter in the affiliate code 777 on your checkout, it'll give you the maximum discount. And then check the box that says 90 to 10% profit split because it's only $100 extra and it pays for itself in your first payout. So if you skip it, you're only getting 80% of the profit split. So that extra 10% on the table is well worth it. Then you simply purchase the test. You'll get $100,000 loaded in your account. And then the profit target to pass the test is $110,000. So you just have to grow the account by 10% with an unlimited time frame. There's no deadline here. And just keep your account within a max daily loss of 4%. That'd be like $4,000 and a max drawdown of $6,000. And then you can withdraw your profits on demand 24/7 in USDC. Now, quick disclaimer, when you go through the link below and you use code 777 to get the maximum discount on your 100K or 200K funded account test, we do earn a small commission, but it helps support value-based videos like this. So click the link below in the description right now, take the test, and let's get you funded. Because if the government is able to go to over $38 trillion in debt, then the largest corporations, the largest banks in the world, the largest businesses are all using OPM, and that's other people's money to make more money. So if you're not playing the game, then you're going to be stuck using your own capital forever. And if you don't know what you're doing, or if you're just starting out trading, then you're most likely just going to blow your account, lose all of your money. So you might as well use Kraken's income there and dive into our trading education inside of Altcoin Pro, because we're about to see a crazy close to 2025. Look at this war report from November 4th saying the government shutdown is not what you think. Nothing about what's going on is normal. The shutdown is a smokescreen for a silent purge and a beginning of the end for the cabal's grip on power. So the official story is that there's a funding failure here and a disagreement between Democrats and Republicans, but the reality is a strategic military operation unfolding under the cover of a shutdown. So the official story is the federal buildings closed, servers disconnected, contractors sent home, and the reality is behind sealed doors, special teams are removing files, hard drives, and evidence of mass corruption. And the official story is the Treasury and the Federal Reserve accounts are being frozen and transferred. And the reality is the quantum financial system is already live in parallel mode, testing real-time payments and gold-backed credit. And so the IRS office shuts down without notice, agents being interrogated, old tax apparatuses being dismantled, while a new transparent system is installed and classified communication lines are moved to secure military channels. And when the signal switches to EBS, the public will understand why this shutdown was necessary. Now, this was written by Guardian Daniel R. And this is absolutely crazy. What's your guys' thoughts here? Because a lot of people are saying the reason why the government shut down is because the real Congress is already dead and the actors must exit the movie. And what we're seeing is a play right in front of our eyes with people like Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton being executed years ago, and they're just playing roles like Jim Carrey is Joe Biden dressed up in a skin mask. That's about as crazy as it gets. But what's your thoughts on that? Because if you look at how Trump is moving ever since he's been elected, it is the most aggressive thing a president has ever done. And I played this clip a while back, over a month ago, but I think it's important you hear it again.
Yeah, you're talking about how historic these tariffs have been, bringing in revenue, additional revenue for our country. You've also mentioned before they could possibly replace federal income tax.
Possible.
Do you think that's
Someday it's possible. It used to be. So if you go back to 1913 is when they ended tariffs. We were the richest ever from 1850. It was all tariffs. We didn't have income taxes. From 1850 to 1913. In the 1887s, about 1887, they had the Great National Tariff Act. And it was a group of people that got together because our country was so rich, they didn't know what to do with the money. We had so much money, they didn't know what to do. It was a group of very prominent people that were set up to hand out money to everybody because we were the richest we ever were. Proportionately, we were in 1887, around that time, even in 1913. We ended them in 1913. How did that work out? And then we went to the income tax system, and then we had the Depression. And by the way, a lot of people try and say that, oh, tariffs with the Depression. No, they ended in 1913. And then we went to income tax, and then in 1929 you had the Depression. They did try and bring it back in 1931-32, but the Depression had long started, and this poor, beautiful nation was gone. It was gone. We suffered for 25 years. It took 25, 30 years to really recover from the Depression. And we don't ever want to see that happen again. The tariffs are vital to the success of this country. When I say I ended 7 wars, at least half of those wars were ended because of the power of tariffs. I was able to say, well, we're not doing any business with you, or if you're going to war, we're putting a big tariff on you. And all of a sudden they announced that the war was settled. I settled 7 different wars, one going 31 years, look at the Congo and Rwanda, look at that, 31 years, 10 million people dead. I got it settled. And a little bit of that one, less than in some cases, had to do with trade and had to do with tariffs. So, you know, tariffs are vital to our country. And just so you know, other countries use them on us, but I just use them a lot better. We're in a much better position. We have trillions of dollars coming into our country. If we didn't have tariffs, we would be a very poor nation, and we would be taken advantage of by every other nation in the world, friend and foe. We're not going to let that happen. And we have a very, very big case in the Supreme Court. I can only say this. Our country has a chance to be unbelievably rich again, but it can also be unbelievably poor again. If we don't win that case, our country is going to suffer so greatly.
And Trump is now saying that all money left over from the $2,000 payments made to low and middle income USA citizens from the massive tariff income pouring into our country from foreign countries, which will be substantial, will be used to substantially pay down national debt. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So right after Trump announced this, we see dinosaur coins like Uniswap or Filecoin pumping, 70+%. And Bitcoin's dominance is still in an uptrend right now on this retrace while these altcoins are pumping. So are there a select few billion-dollar companies that understand what's about to happen next altcoin and they're wanting to front run this pump? For example, if you look at Uniswap here, over the past 24 hours, it's up 46%. Now, one thing that's interesting about this is retail is not here. You look over the interest over the past 5 years, it's at 5 out of 100. No one cares. If I go over the past 12 months on the keyword altcoins, it's at 5 out of 100. Everyone left, retail left in July to August. So clearly, this is not, your cousins, your uncle, your grandpa on Coinbase buying Uniswap here, because over the past 24 hours, the volume is up over 300%. We're talking about $1.8 billion in volume over the past 24 hours. And if you look at the market cap has gone from $4 billion to $6 billion. So who has pumped in over $1 billion to $2 billion in buy volume over the past 24 hours? Clearly, it's somebody who knows what's coming next. It's not just Uniswap. We're talking about Filecoin, Internet Computer, Artificial Superintelligence, Zcash, even World LibertyFi, Render, you name it. The list goes on and on and on. So could it be that smart institutions with billions of dollars in assets under management are prepping for Bitcoin's dominance to eventually roll over and capital rotation into altcoins? Well, what could cause that? Well, if we look at what Scott Bessent just posted, saying the U.S. Treasury today and the IRS issued new guidance giving crypto exchange-traded products, ETPs, a clear path to stake digital assets and share staking rewards with their retail investors. So this move increases investor benefits, boosts innovation, and keeps America the global leader in digital asset and blockchain technology. Very interesting how this announcement comes after the pump up in those altcoins. Plus, Representative French Hill is saying the House-passed Clarity Act is now getting intensive work in the Senate.
When the government finally reopens this week, we're expecting Congress can take on the Clarity Act, the long-awaited crypto market regulation bill, bipartisan talks reportedly resuming in the Senate. Mr. Chairman, what can you tell us? Because no doubt a reopening is good for financial services and for crypto as well, right?
You bet, because we have pending before the Congress a National Defense Authorization Bill trying to prepare the ag damage to our economy from no farm bill during the Biden administration, no Biden enforcement of the Chinese soybeans deal. We need an ag bill, and that's another reason to open to Congress. You're right. We've made progress during September and October on market structure for digital assets. The Clarity Act, which we passed with 78 Democrats in the House back in July, is now subject of intensive work in the Senate by both Senate Democrats and Republicans on the Banking Committee and on the Senate Agriculture Committee. They're making strong progress, and I hope we can conclude that in coming days. It's been hurt by the shutdown, so I'm looking forward to working with them and getting it across the floor and to President Trump's desk.
With the longest shutdown in history, listen to what Trump just said.
Do you personally approve of the deal that's happening right now on Capitol Hill to end the government?
Well, it depends what deal we're talking about. But if it's a deal I heard about, that's certainly, they want to change the deal a little bit. But I would say so. I think based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything. And we have support from enough Democrats. And we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly.
And because the government was shut down, the XRP ETF's decisions were postponed. And so now the key dates here for 21 shares, Franklin Templeton, Grayscale, Wisdom Tree are going to be approved any minute now. And so this news is incredibly bullish for XRP holders, and that's why we're seeing XRP rally to the upside. Now on the daily chart here, we are back at the 50 EMA. And if we go into the 4-hour chart here, we can see XRP sitting at $2.53, right at this key resistance. The next resistance is at $2.70. So depending on what happens over the next 7 days, if XRP starts to rally above $2.70, well, that is a major resistance that we broke below on that liquidation event. That would be the major turning point for holders to believe that we have a shot at the all-time high. So until we could clear that resistance, the uphill battle is still there, and we're still in a downtrend because we're just simply forming another lower high right now if XRP sells back off to the downside. So this is why it's more important than ever before to understand how to look for bearish and bullish divergences, because what I've been talking about inside of Altcoin Pro on the accelerator program calls, I just got off a 3-hour call with our community here, breaking down, what's happening with XRP and how to spot these divergences and how to position yourself properly so you can be able to make the most amount of money possible, longing and shorting any altcoin you want. So you're not just buying into hype or FOMO or selling into FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So looking at the 4-hour chart here, we can see that the stochastic RSI, formed a bearish cross right up here. So it's not the best entry point for XRP on a buy because we could pull back in the short term back to the 50 EMA on the 4-hour chart here. while the stochastic RSI comes down and reset. So this is not exactly what I like to look for to buy. Plus the RSI is sitting at 67 right now. If the RSI pushes upwards of 70 to 80 to 90, yes, XRP could rally in the short term, but the risk to the downside right now is actually a little bit higher for XRP based on where you could be entering prior to the breakout down here. And so if we go into the hourly chart, you can even see that the RSI topped out here upwards of 82. The price chart made a higher high right here, whereas the relative strength index made a lower high, is now in a downtrend. So unless XRP, even if XRP makes another higher high here on the price chart, in my opinion, this momentum would eventually slow down, roll over, and we'd see a bigger correction for XRP before either continuing the uptrend or going down. So right now, the risk is a lot higher to be buying into XRP. I would be looking for short opportunities as this bearish divergence starts to play out a little bit more, or literally after I jump off this video, XRP starts to break down. So this is a likely scenario. I would watch it here in the short term. Either we have, another little high and we start to roll over here, but eventually I do expect XRP to experience a sell-off on the 4-hour time frame, just simply because the stochastic RSI is all the way up here. Okay, this is what I would look for XRP, is the stochastic RSI to reset down here below 20, closer to 0, the relative strength index to come down closer to 50 or even 30, and XRP's price to do something like this. So yes, there could be another short-term push up in the short term to form another high to come into this zone of resistance, but eventually I'd expect XRP to experience a bigger sell-off and then a bounce from, somewhere closer to $2.40. This is what I would look for. Now, if this doesn't happen, well, I'm going to come back on video. I'm going to show you XRP's price chart. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. But if you want to learn how to properly long and short XRP, so that way you can take your 100K funded account from Breakout using the link in the description below and pass the test by only paying $1,000 to get the 100K, then I highly encourage you to check out the video I made for you in the description below at altcoinpro.com. Watch it. It's only 13 minutes long. It explains how you can get access to our technical analysis essentials training course right here, where we have over 28 videos explaining you how to use, line charts, candlesticks, different drawing tools, indicators, and how to basically master trading. So that way you can separate yourself from the 99% and join the 1%. Because if institutions are prepping themselves for a massive altcoin breakout, then you need to position yourself before the masses do and retail comes back into the industry. And that's exactly what our research team will help you do. For example, our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1, 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree, if that's a goal of yours. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.